Okay. Beta. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from.
Ooh, boss got content, man. Jermall, Charlo, Caleb Plant. Let's talk about it. I see the writing on the wall. I see the play. And I like that. Like, Jermall Charlo is finna fight very good Thomas Lamana. He got 39 fights. I think he got 5 losses. I think 3 is by knockout. I think he lost to Elijah Garcia. I think so. Jorge Cota and somebody else, right? Or maybe he got 3 losses. I know he got 39 fights and 18 knockouts, right? So I think he's trained by Bozy. I've seen him in Bozy gym. I don't know if Bozy is his coach. But he's a pretty decent fighter. And I like what PBC's doing, Jermall Charlo. I think that, they trying to invest into him right now. So I think what they're going to try to do is set up the play for him against Caleb Plant. Because, Caleb Plant wants a big fight. He's ranked number 2 in the USA, number 5 in the world. So I think that him and Caleb Plant is a big fight. You got Caleb Plant, who's fighting a guy, I think that's 15-2. Edgar Berlanga is talking trash. I'm going to make a video about that in a minute. But I like the setup. You know what I'm saying? I think Jermall Charlo, he's coming back to a 10-rounder. Hopefully he can keep his mental intact, and hopefully he can get this fight over the hill so, he can get it back in the ring. Boxing is good when the Charlos is back in there. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that Charlo can get back in the ring. I'm not expecting him to look super impressive, but hopefully he looks impressive enough to get his hand raised and to push him into a Caleb Plant fight. And I hope the same for Caleb Plant. Now, that fight, I'm not going to lie to you, is a dangerous fight for both fighters. Because you got Caleb Plant, who, under Steve Bradman Edwards has unlocked something called power. You know what I'm saying? So now he's starting to sit on punches, and he's starting to get, that dog to come out. You know what I'm saying? And that's due to the great sparring that he's getting over there in Philly. But, you got Jermall Charlo, it's a question mark. We can speculate and say if Charlo comes back with his mental right, he could be a problem. And we don't know if his power going to translate up to 168. At 154, he was a problem. At 160 for a little bit, he was looking like his power was going to translate up. And then, he went through the situations he went through. So now he moving up to his 3rd weight class, which is 168. We shall see, if his power is able to translate up. But if Charlo's mental is right, I'm not going to lie to you, I think that Charlo could beat Caleb Plant. I'm going to say it again for the slow people in the back. If Charlo's mental is right, I think he could beat Caleb Plant. Now, I would favor Caleb Plant because Caleb Plant has been more active. I feel like Caleb Plant has been more battle-tested. Him fighting, Andre Durrell, Jose Hustadegi, David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? I feel like he's more battle-tested as of late. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, Jose Hustadegi was way back in. That's the only fight that I say, that was way back when. But, Dave Benavidez, Canelo, you know what I'm saying? Like, Andre Durrell, like he been battle tested his last couple fights. So I think that I would favor Caleb Plant, but like I say, I wouldn't be shocked if Jermall Charlo just dominate Caleb Plant. If his mental is right, I can see a domination. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it's gonna be by one punch, and that's that jab. The Charlos got the best jabs in boxing. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. They got the best stiff jab, pause, in boxing, right? They got a jab that can stop you in your tracks. You know what I'm saying? You getting off, and they just start jabbing you to disrupt your timing. You know what I'm saying? They start jabbing to your chest, jabbing to your stomach. Just stiff jabs. They got the best stiff jabs in boxing. Charlo dropped dudes with jabs. Y'all remember that. So his jab, is lethal, right? And, I think that Charlo, if he come back, he get his mental right, I can see a domination. I'm not going to lie. Now, I'm not going to say Caleb Plant going to quit, because Caleb Plant a dog, bro. And he ain't quit against Dave Benavidez. And, in the later half of that fight, Dave Benavidez was putting it on him. But he still was fighting. You know what I'm saying? He still was hanging on. You know what I mean? He was doing what he needed to do. But, at the end of the day, he came up short. But I'm not going to lie. I can see if Charlo mental is right. Now, granted, it's if. If my aunt had nuts, should be my uncle. All I'm saying is, and that's for me, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really like saying if, but we got to keep it 1,000. If his mental is right, I'm telling you, don't be shocked about the domination. That's all about saying. Don't be shocked if that man just started jabbing, non-stop, controlling the fight, controlling the pace, hooking off on Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be shocked. But it'd be a good fight, a good build-up. It'd be a good everything. I feel like that'd be a big fight. I feel like them two will make a lot of money, make a lot of coin. I feel like that could potentially be a fighter of the year type of fight. Because like I said, Steve Bredman has unlocked something in Caleb Plant to the point where if you start putting hands on him, he's going to start trying to put hands on you. You know what I mean? I think Caleb will start trying to box Jermall early, but like I said before, I think Charlo, will eventually just start sitting down on some punches, start cutting the ring off and, some stuff like that. But we got to see. We got to see in this fight because it's not a guarantee if Charlo get past LaManna. It's not a guarantee that Caleb Plant get past this prospect. You know what I mean? So we shall see. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's go.